Hi there, and welcome to another one of my video Bible lessons. We are going to be learning more about Joseph today, so I hope you guys will enjoy it. We are in Genesis 37, so here we go. Verses 5 to 10 of Genesis 37 describes two dreams Joseph had. In these dreams, God would confirm to Joseph ahead of time that what he would be facing in essence. These dreams were God's words to Joseph because there was no Bible available to him, available to God's words to come to pass through these dreams. So verses 5 to 11. Now Joseph had a dream, and he told it to his brothers, and they hated him even more. And he said to them, "Please hear this dream which I have dreamed." And there were binding sheaves in the field, and then behold, my sheaf arose and stood upright, and indeed your sheaves stood all around and bowed down to my sheaf. And his brother said to him, "Shall you indeed reign over us, or shall you indeed have dominion over us?" So they hated him even more for his dreams and his words. Then he dreamed another dream and told it to his brothers and said, "Look, I have dreamed another dream. And this time the sun and the moon and the 11 stars bow down to me." So he told it to his father and brother, and his father rebuked him and said to him, "What is this dream that you have dreamed? Shall your mother and I and your brothers indeed come and bow down to the earth before you?" And his brothers envied him, but his father kept this matter in mind. So the dreams that God gave to Joseph only fueled the negative feelings his brothers had already towards him. The first dream indicated Joseph's brothers would bow down to him, and the next dream indicated the entire family and the whole nation of Israel would bow down to him. In describing the second dream with the sun and the moon and the 11 stars, the sun represents his father Jacob, and the moon represents his mother Rachel. Now notice there's 11 stars, which represents Joseph's brothers. But at this point in recounting Joseph's life, there was only 10. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, who were the sons of Leah, Dan and Naphtali, who were the sons of Bilhah, and Gad and Asher, who were the sons of Zilpah. And when the fulfillment of the second dream comes to pass, there was one more son who had been born, Benjamin. As Joseph recounted the second dream, it made his brothers angry and upset his father, Jacob, who had rebuked Joseph, but he didn't dismiss the dream and proposed to remember it. Jacob didn't understand Joseph's dream, but he didn't dismiss it. And one thing we can do when we don't understand something is put it on the shelf. And that's exactly what Joseph did. This dream will become very important because it was recounted to Joseph's brothers before they betrayed him. The will of God was revealed unto them concerning Joseph. Before Jacob mourned what he believed to be Joseph's death, he heard the will of God as Joseph shared his dreams with him. How was it possible for Joseph to be dead as Jacob believed at one point in the story, if Jacob and his wife and 11 sons were to bow down to Joseph? When Joseph's brothers told their father, told their father Joseph was dead, he believed their story over what God had promised through Joseph's dreams. And in fact, Jacob would carry this grief in his heart until he was finally reunited with Joseph many years later, because he believed the report of his sons rather than the promise of God. And how often do we do the same? We look at circumstances rather than keeping our eyes fixed on the promises of God. Verses 12 to 14. And then his brothers went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. And Israel said to Joseph, Are not your brothers feeding the flocks in Shechem? Come, and I will send you to them. So he said to him, Here I am. And then he said, Please go and see if it is well with your brothers and well with the flocks, and bring back word to me. So he sent them out to the valley of Hebron and went to Shechem. So in verse 12, it says Joseph's brothers were in Shechem, feeding their father's flock. And his father sent them to check on them. And the name Shechem means shoulder or strength. And the reason Joseph's father sent him out was because he didn't trust his other sons caring for the sheep properly. Verses 15 to 17. Now a certain man found him there, and he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, "What are you seeking?" And he said, "I'm seeking my brothers. Please tell me where they are feeding their flocks." And the man said, "They have departed from here, for I have heard them say, 'Let's go to Dothan.'" And Joseph went after his brothers and found them in Dothan. So Dothan was a desert area. Why would his brothers have their father's sheep in a desert? They were not thinking about the sheep. They were only thinking of themselves. Verse 18. Now when they saw him far off, even before they came near, they conspired against him to kill him. So Joseph's brothers hated him so intensely they devised a plan to kill him as he approached them. God's will had already been revealed to them. First, the brothers would bow down to Joseph. Next, the entire family would bow down to him. Joseph's brothers were trying to change the will of God, but even though they were unfaithful to God, God is faithful, and his plan would come to pass. Even 10 brothers scheming against one man can't alter the will of God. In verse 19. Then they said to one another, "Look, this dreamer is coming." So as they watched Joseph approaching, they spoke to one another and ridiculed with sarcasm. So that is my lesson today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So what you can take today, again, with the anger, we can take that away. It's not good to be angry with people. His brothers hated him for his dreams. And yes, I know, I guess you can say Joseph had a part in that because he shared his dreams. But it's not good to hold anger in because his brothers hated him more. And I know part of that is Jacob's fault because he favoritism. But that's a whole nother lesson in itself. But I guess you can take away, like I said last time, if you do have anger towards someone, just try and reach out and talk to them, because otherwise you might end up as being like one of the 10 or one of the 11. Because, like I said last time, sometimes they don't even know that they did something wrong. Like, they might just be doing their thing, and, it might have rubbed you the wrong way. So, with that, I will let you guys go. I will try and do more of these. Sometimes I don't get around to do them because, I have to upload them rather than on Facebook. Because Facebook, I do them every week, if you find me on there. So I do them Wednesdays and Saturdays. If you want to add me as a friend, go ahead. And if you do enjoy these videos, feel free to share so more people can see them. And on my Facebook ones, I actually add music. So that's the plus on my Facebook ones. So I'll try and do more of these and try and upload more of them in the future. So I can do more of the Gospel of John. On Facebook, I'm doing Gospel of Mark. So depending which gospel you want. So with that, hope you're having a good day and God bless.